Guys, LeVar98 here. Today I'm going to bring you a collection video. Unlike my other collection videos, which is usually the entire collection, with Christmas coming up, I thought why not do a Christmas specific collection video. So I got a few movies recently during Black Friday, as well as some old stuff and even some DVDs. And I thought why not start with the DVDs. Either these are just DVDs I haven't actually found yet on Blu-ray, or more than likely I just haven't picked it up yet. The first one is the Santa Claus. This is Rick Dudley, or sorry, Dudley Moore, I should say. He plays the elf in this one, and really interesting take on the legend of Santa Claus. You know, the whole thing behind that. It shows his beginning, and then eventually what we know as of Santa Claus today in various other forms of media. I don't think this is on Blu-ray. I'm not too sure though. Alright, so next up we have probably one of my favorite Christmas films, at least growing up as during my childhood, and that is Ernest Saves Christmas. Even today I still watch this, or I try to watch this at least once a year. I really like this film. It's just overall entertaining. Probably one of the best Ernest films, right up there with Ernest Goes to Camp. That's probably my second favorite. But yeah, what can you say? It's just really fun. You know, Jim Varney. Sadly he passed away a few years ago. It's been a while now. But yeah, it was definitely, this is one of his finest films for me, and really funny. And also an interesting take on the Santa Claus legend or whatever. Next up, all these so far have been talking about Santa, or interesting things about Santa. This is a completely different way of going about things. This is Badder Santa, or Bad Santa. This is the Badder Santa edition. It's the unrated version. On DVD, they originally released the theatrical version, then they released this version, which has it's uncut, extended, very raunchy comedy, and obviously not for the kids, but if you like raunchy type of humor, it's probably right up your alley, and you've probably already seen it. But yeah, I recommend it, but again, not for kids. Alright, so that's it for DVDs, and I'll show you the three that I got recently. Some of these are, actually all of these are fairly old, and you can get them fairly cheaply now. We have Bill Murray and Scrooged. I've only actually seen this probably twice, and I liked it both times. I don't know why I've never watched it more. Maybe it hasn't been on TV as frequent as say National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, or those type of films. But it is an interesting take on A Christmas Carol, and Bill Murray's, he's Bill freaking Murray, man. He's pretty awesome in this. So I got that really cheap, but I can't remember, maybe $8 or something. Next up, another favorite of mine is The Polar Express. This is Robert Zemeckis. This is kind of when I don't know if it was his first film in CG. I think it was, where he was kind of going with this motion capture 3D technology or whatever. Really good film. I liked it. Some people didn't. They couldn't suspend belief. Whatever. But I think Roger Ebert, the late Roger Ebert, said it best. It's a magical train, and magical things happen on magical trains. So yeah, overall, very entertaining. And one thing I did find out after actually having watched this, some of the features on it, is that I knew Tom Hanks. Obviously, he played the train conductor. He plays Santa, and I think the hobo on the roof. That I all knew. What I didn't know is he also did the motion capture for the kid. I don't think they did anything. I don't think he did the voice. I don't think he did anything to make his voice sound, like a kid or a child. I think there was somebody else for the voice, but he did the motion capture, and I didn't know that. And I thought it was pretty neat. Another one I bought on Black Friday was Fright Claus. Not a great film, but it's all right for around this time of year. I didn't pay much for it. I think it was $5. I do like Vince Vaughn, although to be honest, like his comedy, you have to like Vince Vaughn because that's basically what he plays in every film. But I still like him as an actor, so I thought it was pretty good. And Paul Giamatti as Santa Claus is pretty funny in this. That's probably one big highlight in this film. All right, so next up we have basically Blu-rays I've collected over the years, and I guess we can start. Well, might as well start on the top here. We have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Granted, it is on every year on TV, but I still have to have it in my collection. It's one of my favorite Christmas films. It's one of those ones I watch every year, not because I'm forced to, because it's on TV so often, but I'll watch it multiple times this year. One cool, interesting tidbit on this one is it actually has some special features and specifically a commentary, and it has, let me see here, Randy Quaid, Beverly D'Angelo, Johnny Galecki, Miriam Flynn, and director Jeremiah Cheknik, and producer Maddie Simmons. That commentary is pretty hilarious, especially having watched the film so many times throughout the years, to hear like some of the actors that were in this film, as well as the director, kind of like talk about it and have a laugh at it as well. Very entertaining film, probably one of my favorites. Or if it isn't one of my favorites, a guilty pleasure for me is Jingle All The Way. Another one I usually watch or try to watch every year. One thing I will say, while it's far-fetched, especially, it really jumps the shark near the end with the whole Turbo Man, Arnie getting in the Turbo Man suit and it flying away, and then that wasn't even so much the issue for me. It was more like it actually had working weapons and things like that. That was a little over the top, but for the most part I enjoyed the film. It does kind of have some realism in the fact that there are plenty of parents probably now around this time of year or later on in around Christmas Eve or so on, that are rushing to get their child or spouse or whatever that special gift, and so from that point of view it actually holds fairly true to real life. Overall, I mean, there's a lot of funny moments in this, a lot of Arnie one-liners. Everyone knows to put the cookie down, stuff like that. It also has Phil Hartman, the late Phil Hartman, in this, and he is awesome in this one, and Sinbad too, by the way. Everyone's pretty awesome in this. And of course, it also has young Anakin Skywalker, everyone's favorite of the Star Wars saga. Wish I can't remember his name. It's like Jake, somebody, whatever his name is. Who knows? Whatever. No one really likes him. I'm only lying there. So next up, we have another favorite of mine, Home Alone. This is the 2-pack. Of course, this is all that it really exists in Home Alone. They've never made films other than that. Or at least in my mind, I've erased all the other ones. These are the two that you really want. Macaulay Culkin in both of these, and has a lot of the same characters, or if not all the same characters in both. Out of these two, while I think this is probably overall a better film, I enjoy this one a lot more, and it's more for the scenery. I've never personally been to New York City, so I don't know how accurate it is around Christmas time, but I always enjoyed the scenery in that, especially the toy shop and the hotel and things like that. Yeah. One cool tidbit on, I believe it's on the first one. This one doesn't have any special features, by the way, but this one has quite a few special features, including a commentary with Macaulay Culkin and the director, who is Chris Columbus. And it's pretty interesting to hear an older Macaulay Culkin kind of telling us his experience on making the film. So we got that. We'll put this back into the slip. All right. So next up, we have kind of another raunchy it is a raunchy comedy. It's Harold and Kumar's Christmas, and it's one of those things. If you like the Harold and Kumar films, you will like this, and I like Harold and Kumar, therefore I like this film. It has some funny moments in it. The baby on I think it was on crack or something like that. It was pretty funny. They had a really awesome claymation sequence in this too. I personally never seen it in 3D, and by the way, this is the 2D edition. They do have a 3D edition, which I didn't get because it was more money, and honestly, I don't have a 3D TV. So, but I don't know how the 3D is in this film. But overall, I really enjoy it, and yeah, always funny films. This one could be debatable, but it was set around Christmas time. We have Gremlins. Everyone loves Gizmo. I mean, just look how cute that is. Look how cute that is right there. And by the way, I hear they're making a third one, or they're talking about making a third one. I don't know about that. I really hope they keep with the puppets. I'm not normally a guy who really has to go old school with a remake. I don't mind them using CG, but I find with the Gremlins, the puppets really add to the character. Of course, I mean, obviously, if you want a gremlin to move around or some of the more elaborate effects, you have to use CG, and I have no problem with that. But I hope the core of what the Gremlins 3 movie is hopefully going to be will be the puppets. So, anyways, a great film. Really enjoyed it as a kid, and I enjoy it even more now as an adult. I see it from a whole different light now. Originally, this film was supposed to be a horror movie or like a horror comedy, like a dark humor film. And then Steven Spielberg got it on his desk, and he basically had one suggestion that was kind of tone it down, tone the violence down a little bit, make it a bit more kid friendly, and boy did it pay off because it became a big hit that year. I also have Gremlins too, but I don't really consider that a Christmas film. Next up, we have Arthur Christmas. I've never actually seen this one yet. I probably will watch it this year. I've had this for a long time, and I want to say I bought it at Videotron, I believe. I think I did a video about that. But anyways, yeah, I never seen it. I'll probably watch it this year. Alright, probably up there in the top 3, maybe even top 2, and it is A Christmas Story. I probably would put this at top 1 most years, but it jostles between this and Christmas Vacation as my favorite. Anyway, yeah, it's Ralphie, the Red Ryder BB gun. What more can you say about this one? It is another film that's also on a lot at Christmas time on TV. I think even, well, here in Canada anyway, I think it's on CTV. They have a Christmas Story marathon where basically they play this film for the full day of Christmas, I believe. And yeah, I really enjoy this one, and it also has a commentary, which was kind of cool to see. The actor who plays Ralphie in the film, Peter Billingsley, and director co-writer Bob Clark. I believe Bob Clark also did the Canadian horror film Black Christmas. I want to say, is it Black Christmas? I can't remember, but yeah, he did do a horror film before he got his big break, I would say, in Christmas Story. Next up, we have A Christmas Carol. Now, there's a lot of Christmas carols. I even have a couple here. This is one of my favorites. This is George C. Scott in the title role. I also like the Alistair Sims Christmas Carol. I don't have that one here. I thought I had it on DVD, but I just couldn't find it. But I will pick that up at some point. The only thing with that one, you have to be careful because there's a few editions that are, well, basically crap. But they did release a new edition. I just gotta make sure I grab the right one. But anyways, this was actually made for TV. It was made for TV in the UK, and it's probably the closest I think you'll get to a more accurate Christmas Carol. A Charles Dickens adaptation. I can't say the words there, but there we go. But yeah, anyway, definitely recommend, especially if you love the Scrooge films. So then I have the only other Christmas Carol I have is the animated feature with Jim Carrey playing multiple roles in this. It's Robert Zemeckis again, I do believe. Yes. And it uses the same technology in Polar Express. I really enjoyed this one. I know it's probably not the most faithful adaptation, but I really enjoyed this. It was a different take of it. The problem with a lot of these Christmas carols is they tend to repeat a lot of the same things because naturally it's on the same source material, but I really enjoyed this one. I think it added a lot of new things that didn't really take away from the spirit of the core story. And yeah, I thought Jim Carrey doing the voices, he did a very good job. And I also enjoyed the animation in this. I thought it was pretty cool. They also have a 3D edition. I don't have that one. I got this one really cheap, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe I got that in the Rogers sale a long time ago, which is kind of what started me when, well, all that back there. And then finally we have the last of the Blu-rays, or last of all the movies rather, A Charlie Brown Christmas. It's Charlie Brown Christmas. It also has what's the other one? It's Christmas Time Again, Charlie Brown, which is another feature. Unfortunately, that one's not in HD, but the core feature, Charlie Brown Christmas, is, it's one of those things like, why would you buy these things when they're on TV all the time, especially considering their TV shows. But I enjoyed especially the extra features in this. I just thought they were pretty well done. I think this one had a commentary, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it had a commentary. I don't know, but it had quite a few features on it, and you did get that extra bonus show. So yeah, I think I have a couple more that I will tack onto this video. I just thought of them right now, so let's just give me a moment. All right, we're back. Yeah, so Charlie Brown Christmas kind of got me thinking. I forgot I had How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is of course the animated feature that's on pretty much every year. They also had the Jim Carrey, which I don't have, and I do like. Some people don't like it, but not every movie is everyone's cup of tea. But anyways, yeah, this is the one that had the extra features. This is the one that had like a really good commentary with the voice of Cindy Lou Who, whatever her name is, June Foray, and also the animator Phil Roman. It's just interesting to hear them talk, because this film is, or rather the show or feature, or whatever you want to call it, has been in a lot of people's lives, throughout the years. A lot of kids grew up with this stuff, and they still, to this day, watch it on TV. But yeah, really enjoy this one, and it had a plethora of extra features on this. So if you're a fan of the TV show and you want to get a little bit more backstory and so on that, definitely seek this out. And you can probably find it for like $8. I think that's what I got it for. All right, so we have two more after this. We have Edward Scissorhands. I know some people might not consider this a Christmas film, but it is set around Christmas time for some parts, and probably the most iconic scene was when he was sculpting in the ice and cuts Winona Ryder's hand, and that kind of got him banished to that back to the castle or whatever. Really good film, probably one of Johnny Depp's best films, right up there with maybe like the first Pirates of the Caribbean. But yeah, he really gets into the role, and Tim Burton, I mean, he has his signature art style, or whatever to it. But yeah, really enjoy this film. And I think I also got that one for $8. You'll notice, Trent, a lot of these films are older films. You can get them for like, well, $8. And finally, last but certainly not least, probably the greatest Christmas film of all time. Of course, I'm talking about Die Hard. Okay, maybe not Die Hard. It's not like, your typical Christmas film, but it is set on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. The first one, of course, is what I'm talking about. But yeah, great action film. Bruce Willis. Although the later films kind of, especially with Live Free or Die Hard and onward, kind of drop in quality quite a bit. But yeah, but the first film, amazing. What more can you really say about that? And I know a lot of people, they don't really consider this a Christmas film, because it's not something you really think of. You think of family-friendly type stuff for Christmas, but it is set around Christmas, and a lot of people consider it a Christmas film, especially people who like collect film. I always notice that a lot. But anyways, that's basically it. So quite a few films there. We got a lot out in the house. All right, I forgot one more film. This is A Nightmare Before Christmas. The reason I forgot it is because you can kind of consider it a Halloween film as well, even though it does have Christmas in the title. But yeah, really interesting film, or a different take on the Christmas film. It's obviously by Tim Burton. It has his art style, the way he does films. It's actually not directed by him, though. I can't remember who it's directed by. But yeah, a lot of people assume it is directed by him, but no, it's actually a story by him. And I think he's a producer or whatever. Has some interesting commentary on here, as well as some features. It also has the Frankenweenie short, which it appears on, I believe, on two things. It appears on this thing, as well as the actual Frankenweenie film that he made later on. But really interesting film. I do like the fact that you can consider this both a Halloween and a Christmas film, and it intertwines the two, and pretty much perfectly. I really enjoy the story, Jack the Skeleton in this, and how he kind of wants to, change his ways, I guess you can say, from being a scary guy, or for Halloween, to to the festiveness or whatever of Christmas. But yeah, anyway, that's basically it. So I'm positive this time I am finished. So this is 21 films instead of 20. A little bonus film for you there. Yeah, so anyways, take care, guys. This is Lampoon 98. Bye.